What a breathtaking sight. Tonight, we find out how metal Ocean City is on Podcast 'em Down to Shore.
Podcast them down!
Hail Metal Nation, it is I, Tim, from Black Metal Beach Party. And you're listening to Podcast 'em Down the Ocean. And I'm here with Matt Hatman.
How's it going?
And we are going to determine exactly how metal the Boardwalk in Ocean City is.
I'm already suspecting mediocrely metal.
All right, well, let's start right here. Why not? All right. So we got a tower, and we got some dead people. Photos of dead people.
Right, this is already not very metal, because these people are lifesavers.
Well, that's pretty. All right. So here,
Shark.
we have a shark. Sharks are metal.
Sharks are pretty metal. However, this particular shark, not in the water.
And it's in the life-saving station.
Yeah, again, and I don't see the little, if we're going to cut open this shark and the little Kittner boy is going to fall out, that would be one thing.
Is that a Jaws reference?
That is a Jaws reference.
It's a tiger shark according to this here sign.
Yep. And another thing that's not, I've read the sign many times, another thing that's not very metal is even though this is the largest fish, according to some arcane fishing rules, it actually doesn't count. So why does it get its own display case?
I don't know. I would argue that, arbitrary rules are metal, in fact.
Okay, well, I mean, that is true. That is true.
All right. Move on. All right. There's a
Ferris wheel.
Well, I was closest to us is a jewelry store. That's not metal.
The jewelry is metal. I mean, it's made of metal. But I mean, like the ring and the crown.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, is this the?
No, there's a cannon.
Oh,
there is a cannon.
Okay, cannon.
Cannon metal. Literally.
It's a British cannon.
12-pounder.
Wait, it came from Fells Point? I mean, that means Fells Point is more metal than the Boardwalk.
Then why'd they lose their cannon?
Well, okay, that's a good question.
All right. Next to the cannon, we have a white marlin.
White marlin.
Which is a fish with a pointy nose.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty metal. The word skin mount is also pretty metal. I don't like the overuse of quotation marks.
Oh, skin mount. Historic. The white marlin capital of the world.
Yeah. It's just not great.
All right.
Pretty metal.
Yeah, but it's fake. So if it were real, all right, then there's a bar that's metal. Uh-huh. The drink here is Orange Crush.
That's right. Which is orange soda and vodka, I believe.
Yeah, and I think there's triple sec in there too.
Okay, well, I mean,
that's kind of metal, but it sounds too fruity.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I mean, it's a summertime place. You want kind of like some sweetness. As you'll see, we're not catering to the most sophisticated of tastes. This isn't the Prague down the ocean.
Prague down the ocean.
We're gonna see a lot of Slayer and Anthrax t-shirts.
Okay, so there's a Ferris wheel, bedazzled with LEDs.
They're playing Lil Nas X, who we've established is a pretty metal, non-metal artist.
All right, we are continuing to walk by the tram stop.
Yep.
Trams aren't metal.
Trams are not metal, and this tram is even less metal than it was because we have just a regular old Jeep pulling it instead of like a...
That's right. It used to be some kind of like
fake train.
Fake train. They just dropped the charade.
Right, and now it's just, we got a Jeep.
All right, then we have a T-shirt store called...
a family-friendly store.
Called Cool Topics.
And what I appreciate is not only are they ripping off Hot Topic once, but twice. Because number one, it's not hot, it's cool. But number two, it's not a topic, it's multiple topics.
Yeah, so that's two legally distinct changes. There's also Souvenir City, with gifts, souvenirs, and seashells. And I would argue the seashells are in fact metal because they're the hollowed out corpse.
Yeah, they're corpses. I also think it's pretty metal that they have straight up advertisement in their own sign. So there's some co-branding here, and a lot of our favorite metal bands, the aforementioned Anthrax, Slayer, etc., are great at selling out. So that's pretty metal, actually.
All right, then we got a closed telescope pictures. They're those pushy salesmen.
Yeah. You know, I think, we're hearing the spooky haunted house music, but, I actually think those aren't metal anymore because pictures are so ubiquitous. Like, I think those are like getting your name written on rice. At a certain time, it was pretty metal, but now, not so much.
All right, then we have the famous haunted house. That's been here as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I've never actually been on it.
It would be great to get some ambiance here.
There's a organ.
I mean that's pretty metal. I think the talking beheaded man is pretty metal. The squashing pennies thing, less metal, even though it's using metal.
There is an electric chair, right, and it's about 2 storefronts wide and tall. So, and you ride this little train that appears to be a coffin. That's pretty.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the coffin train is a good.
Or is that a bed?
No, it's definitely a coffin or some kind of spooky implement. Now, what I would say is I'm going to let the audience decide if this is metal or not, but I believe that this itself, this storefront, is the spookiest part of this haunted house. So, I feel like a lot of metal acts, things we review are like that. It looks really promising, and then you turn on the album and it's not so metal anymore. But, I think I like what it's doing. I'm going to give it 1.5 ears. And we'll see how it goes.
All right, onward. I didn't know we're supposed to be rating things.
I
thought we were collapsing the wave function. I'm going to see if I can extend this thing.
Oh, is that like a selfie stick? That's pretty metal.
Yeah, kind of. Is it? It's not metal. Okay, so what else? What else do we have? We have a shop full of junk. All right, then we have various carny things. I'd say that's metal because it's designed to steal your money.
Oh yeah, that is metal.
All right, and then
I'm enjoying wearing my big long-brimmed hat at night.
And then to the right we have Core Brothers.
Core Brothers.
And they make frozen custard.
But I feel like they're a little too polished. They do point out they've been around since 1919 and longevity is metal. But we also know that longevity in metal doesn't necessarily breed a superior product.
Make it is.
Yeah, exactly, right? So they've been here a while. I appreciate newcomer Dumpsters Dairyland, only been here since 1939, but clearly created because of 2 decades of disappointment from the Coors brothers.
Well, I like how Core Brothers pushes you around. You can only get certain flavor combinations.
Right. But Dumpsters Dairyland, they don't care.
Because Core Brothers has a soft serve, and each machine makes 2 and can combine 2, but that doesn't give you unlimited possibilities. Whereas Dumpsters, not dumpster.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's dumpsters.
Point of order. They say making ice cream since 1939. What were they doing before that?
Well, I just assumed maybe they were trying different frozen confections, like frozen herrings.
Maybe they still have that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're defined by their genre, but they're willing to push borders,
All right, so we did pass the old-timey amusement rides, like old-timey carousel and stuff your grandfather remembers.
Yeah, it's like, he kept complaining that it cost $0.25, because in his day, it was just a thin dime, 1/10 of a dollar, and he would complain, say, why don't you just sit on it without it moving? It's just as fun.
I'd say obsolescence is metal, though.
Yeah, obsolescence is definitely metal. Nostalgia is metal. Here's the ski balls.
Yeah, we're passing Marty's Playland,
which is the arch rival of Sportland.
So they're both arcades.
They're both arcades. You can tell they hate each other because their logos are identical, and clearly each one thinks that that's their logo.
They're doubling down. And then Marty's has the obsolete skee ball.
Yeah. I mean, Sportland also has an obsolete skee ball, but it's much less obsolete. I think theirs is coming from like the late 80s versus this got lights and sound. I think the original skee balls in Marty's Playland are at least from the 30s or 40s. And they haven't replaced a single ball.
All right, so now we're coming up on another Dumpster's Dairyland. We've been walking pretty slow and another cool topics, but I did want to talk about this. Thrashers.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, I mean, Thrasher says everything you need to know.
all right. So, what better treat after being out in the hot sun all day, being dehydrated, than a bucket of salty French fries?
I mean, when you're dehydrated, and I've traveled to dangerous situations many times. World Health Organization recommends the following things when you're dehydrated: starch, salt, peanut oil, and fucking Thrasher's fries provides all of those. All of them.
Right. All right. So we got another Core Brothers.
This is
More Carney games.
Yeah, more Carney games. I've been noticing some lexical shifts. So I believe it should be called Pop-a-Balloon, but now it's clearly called Bust-a-Balloon. And I think that's interesting.
All right.
I'm not sure if that's metal though.
To our left now is a old-timey burger stand with no name, but to our right, more importantly, is Ripley's.
Hold on.
Believe it or
There's
not.
something. We did some pre-scouting, and there's something really metal over here that I have to show you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm following you.
Now, if you're just listening to the podcast, you have to get on YouTube right now and see this gigantic tire.
Oh, the giant tire.
Giant tire. I mean, look at it.
This is outside of Ripley's. Believe it or not.
I mean,
I meant to stay with the Balmer accent, but
and frankly, I don't believe this. It's a tire that's nearly 12 feet tall and weighs, what's this, like more than 3 tons?
it says right there 3 tons.
3 tons.
And then it says over 6,500 pounds. So
Well, I mean, okay.
the sign's being modest.
Signs being modest. But still, it's an amazing tire. It's definitely metal.
It was actually used at the Asarco Mission Mine in Arizona. Arizona, despite the bands that have come from there, not metal,
Not metal,
in my opinion. However, mining
Mining is really metal. It's destroying the earth to get minerals, ore. This probably had metal in it. Well, not in the tire. Well, actually around the tire. But I mean, the truck that it was used on, it's definitely hauling ore.
and there's something, it's bleeding.
Oh yeah, it's also oh, here's the tram.
There goes the tram.
The totally unmetal tram.
I don't know, everyone on there looks sad. That's
Yeah.
kind of metal.
I mean, you're sad you're on a tram. You don't know why they're piping in train music or train sounds when it's clearly nothing to do with a train anymore. You can also join the Ocean City Fire Department or police department if you want to.
I'm gonna fight fire, Danny Ocean. That's what they say. All right, so Ripley's, believe it or not, as a shark busting through the side of the building.
But it's clearly going. It jumped in. I mean, I think it's a lot more menacing to have the shark coming out. But this doesn't really make much sense.
Right, he's a victim.
Yeah. I mean, this shark needs help.
And then there's a two-headed calf on the thing outside, and half of the head is wearing a snorkel, which means the other half is gonna drown.
Yeah, I mean, again, not very metal. 2 snorkels would have been more metal. 1 snorkel, not so metal.
No snorkels would also be metal,
No
but one
snorkel's
snorkel,
really metal.
not metal.
But also, I don't like how they went to the well one too many times, because also on that poster was a double-headed chicken. And I feel like that gag is only strong enough for 1 barnyard animal. When you get to 2, it's just no purpose.
All right, then moving on, we got the T-shirt factory,
You know?
which is clearly not a factory, but a retail outlet store.
Another.
I gotta switch hands.
There's another jewelry store for some reason.
Everything's still recording.
All right.
We had to redo the intro because of a technical issue. All right, MR Ducks. What do you got?
I mean, that's one of those things that, maybe if we walk down far enough, we'll be like a Big Dick's masturbate shop or something. But, it's one of those things that in like the early 80s, people thought that was clever. It wasn't. But now, for purposes of nostalgia, it remains. I don't understand why.
All right, so then we got Haagen-Dazs, which is fake Nordic, so I'd say it's fake metal.
Yeah, that's fake metal.
Did you see that the fake whale out there that
I
the
didn't.
children's are climbing on?
I mean, but again, this is tragic because that whale is dying. I mean, why climb on a beached whale? Actually, I'd take it back. That's pretty metal.
All right, then we got Candy Kitchen, which is the only place here that apparently has doors.
Yeah, another interesting thing, very few of these establishments have doors. Candy Kitchen and the jewelry store so far are the only things that have doors. For some reason, here's narrowcasting to the Philadelphians and southern New Jerseyans who are coming here. So here's Tony Luke's.
I don't trust anyone with two first names.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't.
All right, now we have Last Stop Beachwear that is directly next to another place with beachwear, and probably, you can get beachwear back there too.
Yeah, I mean,
So the blatant lie is pretty metal.
I mean, you can't call your establishment the last stop when there's another store selling the exact same thing right next to it.
Okay, I'm confused by this one. It's called The Wrapper, but there's a big pretzel.
Yeah, because it should be called the Wiggler or something. You don't wrap a pretzel. Here's some Polish water ice. Again,
Oh, we got to get some Polish water
do,
ice.
but I'm unsure what that means.
Well,
And actually,
Poland is metal.
it says Polish water and ice.
Oh, that's not water ice. Maybe it's supposed to be water ice and ice cream. Is it?
Oh.
The sign is ambiguous.
Yeah, that's bad typography, which we know we don't like here on Podcast 'em Down.
Podcast and Danny Ocean.
Podcast 'em Down the ocean. And
Down the shore. There.
down shore. We have two names. There's Atomic Body Jewelry. Again, not so metal.
I like how it's clearly just jammed into an alley.
Well, I'm pretty sure this was formerly the place where you got your name on a piece of rice.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you are. All right. There's also nothing over $5.99, and it's all T-shirts, which include such gems as I Heart Porn, I Heart Sluts, I Heart Hot Girls, I Heart Dilfs, I Heart Milfs, I Heart Thick Girls.
And what I appreciate about nothing over $5.99 is these shirts are also available at Last Stop and Cool Topics. But I guarantee you're paying more than $5.99. And maybe you're not, but that $5.99 store at least gives you a guarantee.
All right. Then we got Sassy Beachwear.
There's including some shorts that have some weird font issues, because instead of saying lifeguard across them, they say lifeguard.
Okay, so there is there is what appears to be a public karaoke thing going on.
I mean, earlier here we saw a clearly Christian street performer who had a unicycle, and he was telling the story how there were two unicycle tracks in the sand, and then there was one, and he asked Jesus why.
All right.
Okay, but he's gone.
And it's replaced with a karaoke station, complete with a TV that they wheeled from somewhere, and then there's also a minion over there who no one cares about.
Wow, and that's some branding failure, because the Minions movie is coming out, and the fact that he is not getting much attention is bad news for Sony DreamWorks, because he should be getting a pop, certainly more pop than this strange YouTube karaoke thing they're going.
I think we should do a karaoke.
All right, let's keep moving.
The minion just appears to be the concept of minions is pretty metal. I think the execution of minions, well, unless you're executing minions, that's pretty metal. But
I mean, are they like Pokemon? Like, if you kill them, do they die, or are they like robots?
oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I don't feel, if I saw like a minion on the side of the road, I wouldn't necessarily feel bad.
All right, so then we got another candy kitchen with doors. You know,
Right next to the house of ice cream without doors.
right, the House of Ice Cream has rainbow letters in its sign, and they're lit up, but not all those letters have the same brightness.
No, I mean,
It was probably a good idea on paper.
they were trying really hard. So I'm going to give them points for that. Also, they didn't really think about what colors go with each other. So, like, yeah, the of is hard to look at. But that's fine. They're not in the sign business. This isn't the sign store. This is the ice cream store. And if they're paying more attention to ice cream than signs, I'm going to support that.
To me, it looks like it says Hoos Fikek Am.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. And what if colorblind people are? Oh, wait, hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
Stop everything.
What do you got?
Polak Johnny's.
Polak Johnny, Danny Ocean.
Baltimore institution here in Ocean City.
All right, so Polak Johnny's, for our worldwide listeners, is a Baltimore-based meat company known for their sausage.
Yep.
And you don't see them too much anymore.
No. But here is one right here.
But there's one right here, Danny Ocean.
I know what you were thinking. Where am I going to get a fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Answer, Polak Johnny's.
Yeah, okay, so they're known for their sausages and so on, but they're real light on the sausage. It's all just fried stuff at the storefront, it appears.
Now they have a big lemonade thing. I know what you're thinking. How do I know that? Because there are paper lemonades, or lemons all over it, leaving no doubt what it is.
They also have funnel cakes.
They have
And it's basically anything you can fry, they have it.
yeah. Well, I mean, they just had to invest in one thing: a fryer.
A fryer.
Fryer.
Okay, then 2 doors down from Polak Johnny's is Fruit Fiesta, not metal.
Yeah, and you know, I like the different names of all the same store. So, like Ocean Waves, T-shirt Factory. What distinguishes them, as far as I can tell, nothing. And yet they're both very proud in their brand identities.
All right, next we got Fisher's Popcorn.
Now, if you recall, this is another Ocean City institution, but unlike Thrashers, this is the exact opposite. No one wants popcorn at the beach. It gets in your teeth.
Right.
You know, butter. Where are these cows? Where are these cows coming from? There's no cows at the beach.
You can get Old Bay popcorn. All right, then there's a busker.
Again, I'm not excited. The only thing I'm less excited about than Fisher's Popcorn is more Coors Brothers.
Yeah, so yet another Core Brothers. All right, then the same store again, but this time it's called Beach Break. And then
Musical venue, the Purple Moose. I wonder if I can see a great cover band there.
I don't believe you can. So yeah, we are passing the Purple Moose now. You don't want it, it says. I guess we're not going in there.
I don't want it. We don't. No, thank you.
They got those LED signs,
Now
and all it says is "You don't want it." That's it.
Now here's a store called Body Piercing that's full of T-shirts. Again, a little confusing what they're going for. But you know, you do you.
All right, so then there's another piercing place that's full of T-shirts. That's 2 next to each other. And then
There's a clever marijuana enthusiast T-shirt that says, "Don't panic, it's organic." I'm not sure that's true, but there's that.
right, doesn't that have to be certified?
Yeah, I mean, where's that USDA seal?
All right, so now there's another arcade. I forgot about this one. And they also have skee ball, but it looks brand new. This one is called Fun City.
Which again is a clear knockoff of the Playland and Funland actual arcades. This is an afterthought. It's way down the boardwalk. Why is this here? It's just to capture lazy people who don't want to drive all the way to the inlet.
How far does this go? Here's another dumpsters.
There's another Dumpsters Dairyland.
By the way, they have the same twisty orange cone as Core Brothers.
Yeah, but it looks so much better. You know?
All right, and then
That's
another
exactly
tease.
what I'm saying.
How far does this thing go?
I mean, it
Because
goes-
eventually it just stops being stuff, right?
Yeah, I think at a certain point it just turns into hotels and like tire balancing centers.
At the beach?
So here we have the gentrification of the boardwalk. Lots of corporate brands, Rita's,
Cinnabon.
Cinnabon.
Let's go over here real
Let's go
quick.
over here for a second.
I want to investigate these towers. Now, we did investigate them
Yeah,
off camera.
we didn't really get a satisfactory answer the first time, so maybe now we'll get a better understanding of them.
Yeah, so what we got here. So we have walked away from the shops and so forth.
Right.
And toward the actual ocean.
The ocean you can see is the blue thing there, right after the sand.
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of sand, and I believe there are volleyball courts set up somewhere, or at least there were.
Yeah,
And there's this just row of wooden towers that have electricity available to them. And what are they? They're awfully they're vaguely monolithic. They're
Yeah.
kind of small.
I didn't notice last night, but tonight I'm noticing the boxes have hinges. So maybe there's some like death ray or something that pops up out of them, which would be pretty metal. Like maybe if the volleyball gets out of hand, someone needs to be vaporized.
I just think it's where the judge is perched.
No
and
way.
Judgment is metal, so
I mean, judgment is metal, if that's true, but I don't understand why you don't just get some of these lifeguard chairs. I mean, if there's a volleyball tournament going on, you don't need everybody watching the beach. People can take care of themselves. You know, just prop them up in some of these here chairs, and it's fine.
you know, back when we were talking about thrashers, we walked by the entrance to the other amusement park type stuff. We walked by the one Ferris wheel, and now I'm looking back towards
yeah.
where we were, and I'm seeing the other Ferris wheel. And I was praising the LEDs on the first Ferris wheel, but they really got their shit together for the second one.
No, this Ferris wheel is 1,000% more metal than the other Ferris wheel. They got like counter rotation. Like this looks like the most. The lighting guy here deserves an award because this is a lighting guy doing his job, unlike many lighting guys.
Right. The lighting guy at the other one clearly frequents a Reddit.
Yeah.
So then they also have one of those giant slingshot things, where there's two towers. Hey, that's metal.
Oh, yeah, one is Minas Tirith, and the other, I believe, is Minas Morgoth.
Sounds right.
All right.
Dave is probably
Dave would know,
screaming
yeah.
at the podcast right now. And you enter yourself into this chamber thing, and then they fling you about and you scream.
Although I've noticed I haven't seen anybody launched upward today, so maybe there's been some sort of horrible accident.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. I mean, here's a memorial of some kind.
To firefighters, it appears, of New York.
Something like that.
All right, and then
Apparently Ocean City is just a McDonald's now because they have a play place. You know, because when you go to McDonald's, you get your hamburger and you go to the play place. So here's the Ocean City play place. It looks fun.
we're definitely at the part where things are winding down. They're not out yet. I believe we're walking in the tramway though.
Oh yeah, we need to be careful because that tram goes literally tens of miles an hour.
All right, so we got yet another T-shirt shop, yet another funnel cake place, yet another French fry place.
Well, I'm gonna call out Dreamweaver, because we haven't really seen the hippie beach shop.
Yeah, there used to be everywhere.
Yeah, I think unfortunately the hippie beach shop has given away to the trashy T-shirt beach shop. That's just market forces. But I like the hippie beach shop myself.
They got tapestries, crystals, dream catchers, CBD, and earthly goods, whatever that means.
Now here's clearly a Man-O-War tie-in because it's called King's French Fries. We all know there's four kings of metal. So that's
Man-O-War, if you're ever down here where we have fries to your exact specifications.
Yep, yeah. You can get a fry ring and a fry crown.
I like how jewelry and things didn't limit themselves to just jewelry. Same with sports, etc.
Oh, you know what's really not metal is untied shoes. Give me a moment here.
All right, so how long have you been wearing shoes?
I've been wearing shoes most of my life, possibly at least 35, 36 years.
And would you say you're experienced in wearing shoes?
I am. I wear shoes nearly every day, sometimes multiple pairs of shoes.
And yet you can't keep them tied.
Well, yeah, no, that's the problem. I used to have like the roos, if you remember the kangaroos, and they had like the Velcro, but now it's hard to do when you're an adult.
You should get some loafer style things.
Well, I should have, yeah.
All right, so I don't know. Maybe we should have gone the other way so it didn't peter out like this.
Walked into the ocean?
No, not that other way.
Okay. Wookenfuss has a door.
Hey, watch your mouth. This is a family podcast.
Here coming up is the flashback old-timey photos, which I have a personal beef with, because 20 years ago, some friends and I tried to take an old-timey photo of ourselves wearing contemporary clothes.
Oh, like time travelers.
Yeah, exactly. So we would just be, wearing our...
Like those people who wear Star Trek uniforms to Renfest.
Exactly. But I mean, we were like originators of this idea. And the people who ran the old-timey photos told us no and said it would violate like the credo of old-timey photos.
There's like one rule there.
They're like, sir, we all swore an oath when we got into the old-timey photo business, and that was to never let anyone in contemporary clothes take a photo sepia-toned.
All right, next we have, what would you describe that as?
It's kind of like painting demonstration, I guess.
But like, they do it fast, and then you overpay for it.
Yeah, and he was playing some generically metal music.
Yeah, here's another Polish water and ice cream place.
Again, there's a joke there. I don't think I can say it right now, but you know what I'm thinking.
All right, then there's the laziest cool topics. All these places used to like have Metallica shirts. Now they're just like odd political things.
Yeah, I mean, I want bootleg overkill shirts. I want a shirt that says "Hello from the gutter. We've been expecting you." Nowhere.
I think we've reached our first hotel where there stops being stuff. And
here we have some evangelical sand art. So
it says, "Thank you, Jesus."
But it looks like he's wearing like a bandolier, like a bandito.
Oh, that'd be badass. Tex-Mex Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I do know several.
Santa Jesus.
I mean, that's pretty.
Hey, speaking of Santa, there's Santa.
Wow, there is Santa. I mean, yeah, that might be one of his many helpers, in fact. But just goes to show there's Santa Claus, which is interesting. That's
Jesuito Bandito.
Yeah, let's try and see what's going on here. So,
the junk museum is coming up.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, this is interesting. This again has been going around for many years. As you can see, there's whole water bottles full of donations, and yet he still hasn't got printed signs. And it's not that hard. You could even have gone to Home Depot and gotten those like stickable letters. I don't think he's.
Oh, like ransom note style.
Yeah. I don't think he's really.
We have your Messiah.
Like, does the message really change? Like, does he really spend a lot of time? Like, what am I gonna write on this piece of board?
All right. So that old conversion van. That like is in your neighborhood, as like covered in junk and owned by an eccentric. Well, they have the storefront version of that.
Exactly. Now, every family has a hoarder, and in the case of the Ocean City Boardwalk, I guess the Ocean Gallery, voted #1 best in the USA of what? I'm not sure.
Oh, and the USA flag has the wrong colors in it, and too many stripes.
Too many stripes. Maybe it's one of these things where if you stare at it and then look at like a white field, it'll do like that photo inverse thing. Like that's a possibility.
Then there's another Thrashers.
It is art. Oh, now we've gotten into the very, these are basically just the backs of hotels. I always wonder what it's like to be a person whose, balcony overlooks the fried Oreos and lemonade stand.
And funnel cakes. And then another candy kitchen, also with doors.
But, these people next door are living in the future, because as we know, Dippin' Dots are the ice cream of the future.
Dippin' Dots, usually just in a cart.
But now, storefront.
All right, then we have another generic store, and then a Bull on the Beach, which does not serve bull.
No, nor is it technically on the beach. It's on the boardwalk.
And they do have open pit beef, which is that's another Baltimore thing.
Yeah. But
it's just the way they cook it in some kind of pit, which I would argue is metal.
I mean, over here we have, this might be the atheist sand sculpture.
All right, let's go check it out. We're walking away from the dough roller, which is an overrated
we have to be careful because we don't want to be run over by the tram.
Pizza type restaurant. And yeah, I see the tram. I'm just walking. Matt wasn't brave enough to cut off the tram moving at 3 miles an hour, but I am. All right, so there's no handwritten signs or donations or lights on what he described as the atheist.
Sorry that took so long. I had to wait for the very long tram to pass. But yeah, I mean, here we have a dinosaur bones, no preachy message.
Looks like some hatched dino eggs.
Yeah. But, just to remind us that, we have the answer of one sculpture, a deity, or the cold rules of natural selection. And that's what's beautiful about Ocean City, Maryland. You can pick or choose, There's something for everybody.
I see up ahead the virtual reality place. Do you know what that is? So what you do is you go in, you pay a bunch of money, and they let you use like an Oculus or something. And yes, it's been someone on someone else's faces just moments ago.
The virtual reality is you now have acne, rosacea, and mold.
All right, and this is where it really falls off. So
this is really getting sad now.
But I'm seeing another street type, not really performer or busker, but something that involves a lot of light. So he wants you to see it. So let's investigate.
Maybe next time we should get a light rig on our shoulders and get a bigger crowd.
I do have the equipment.
Okay, so
photos, paintings, photo paintings.
He just
and he appeared to be just drawing on his finger.
Shadow puppets. I think one of these hotels used to be a weird colonial themed restaurant.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, which I always thought was out of place and didn't understand how they stayed in business, but apparently that restaurant was unable to stay in business.
So I'm noticing now there are volleyball nets, but without the towers.
Right, so maybe those towers have very little to do with volleyball after all.
Maybe they're like sniper towers.
Yeah, or like to protect the beach from the Pacific rims.
I mean like a deer blind,
Yeah, what are they called? Like the kaijus? Like Charlie Hunnam can come and Charlie Day. Both A-list Charlies can come and help save the day.
There's a sign next to the volleyball nets that says beach volleyball in case you weren't sure. All right, then we got Shenanigans. Wasn't Shenanigans the name of the restaurant in Office Space?
I swear to God, I will pistol whip the next guy who says Shenanigans. Oh, yeah, I think it's in
Is it in Waiting?
No. What's that movie with the police? Super Troopers.
Super Troopers.
the one movie was really good, and then the follow-up was really bad, and everyone was disappointed. That's also waiting.
That's probably Justin Long's, they drove a dump truck of money up to his house and do another one, please.
He's like, I'm not going to be able to be an iPhone in these commercials forever.
Okay, next. Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, not metal.
Yeah, this is a very corporate area here.
Sunglass City, not metal.
Now, so here's Sensations, which we usually think of along the road cruddy t-shirt store.
Picture the giant version of all the t-shirt stores and beachwear stuff.
It has a door. It misses the simple charm of Cool Topics. It's just sterile and corporate.
Okay, next we got Planet Wings. I would say that's metal. Let me tell you why.
I mean,
an entire planet made of dismembered pieces of a chicken.
Especially if Planet Wings was a planet run by birds.
Oh, that's way more metal. Because, the punishment is to contribute to the mass of the planet.
Right, exactly. So those would be the traitors of Planet Wings.
And then we got New York piercing. What's a New York piercing?
I don't know. And I'm afraid to find out because I'm afraid one day I'll be drunk and wake up with one. So maybe if I don't know what it is, I can save myself that.
All right, then XD Rider 6D Adventure.
You couldn't possibly have 6 dimensions and have it be meaningful. We're 4-dimensional beings.
That might be metal. The blatant lie, which we established earlier.
Yeah, but 6-dimensional adventure sounds really proggy to me.
It does. Okay, yeah, it's more prog than anything. All right, then we have a Hooters. I'd say owls are metal. Hooters, the restaurant, always causes intestinal distress, and that in itself is metal.
Lots of hype of poor delivery. I'm not saying all metals like that, but a lot of metals are.
All right, and now we are finally, the reason we stuck through all the boring parts was just to get to this Ocean City institution.
The Kite Loft. Now, I remember when I was a kid, when I got to the Kite Loft, that meant I went way too far.
Yep. And I feel like we've gone way too far as well.
So here's the Kite Loft.
And they got flags and kites. And is there a loft?
Yeah, the first thing to point out is it's a 2-story store. So, yes, there's kites in the loft, but there's also kites on the ground floor.
It also says where fun begins.
Yeah, which is clearly where fun ends. The Kite Loft. Also, lots of flags.
What's up with there's a Union Jack with the Baltimore flag on there. So we're going to need to ask Doug about that.
And if you notice, there's no sultry of St. Patrick in there. So this is clearly some pseudo-colonial flag of Maryland. We might have to ask the kind gentleman on Vexillology Circle Jerk subreddit to help us out.
I like it. Okay. Well, I would say that wraps things up. So where fun begins is where this podcast ends. And I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but they do have kites aloft at all times. So that's on brand for them. And maybe next time we'll investigate the area with the nice Ferris wheel.
Yeah, maybe coming next year at Podcasting Down the Shore, we'll do the live Ferris wheel interview.
All right, so until next time, Metal Nation, keep it Danny Ocean.
Cast them down.
What's happening now?
A photograph to fulfill their cultural activities.
Oh, sure. We'll edit this out.
No, we'll keep it in.
Oh, we'll keep it in.
Yeah, this is
Okay. How about
I talk with you.
Oh yeah, sure.
We can actually interview you while you're getting photographed too. So what's your name?
My name is Tarek.
Tarek, right?
T.
Oh, Tarek. Okay. Now, what brings you?
I'm from Bosnia.
Oh, brilliant.
From Bosnia, from Europe.
Oh,
I
brilliant.
study medicine, and I'm here like student working this summer.
Oh, great. What are you?
Okay, I want
What are you working on this summer?
here like a buster and houseman.
Great. All right.
And I want using this summer for meet American culture, visit big popular cities like New York, Washington, something like that.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. That's all I got.
I think that we had a Bosnian band.
Do you listen to like metal music? Do you like heavy metal music?
Wait, I don't know what you said.
Like heavy metal music.
No, I don't.
We review a lot of heavy metal bands from Europe, and we just reviewed a Bosnian band, but we forgot the name.
I forget.
Okay. Now we have our second student, and your name?
Is Jovana.
Jovana, also from Bosnia, yeah.
Yeah, I am.
And what brings you down here, down the shore?
Well, I'm studying English and Chinese, so I wanted to perfect my English to meet other cultures, and I'm gonna be back also. Like,
The two easiest languages.
You know.
actually, English is pretty easy compared to Chinese. It's like a whole different game, to be honest. Yeah.
That's true. We should review some Chinese metal bands too coming in.
Yes, we should. I'm
Chinese uprights, almost
that's
similar to
right?
yeah, Jingyu.
Very good.
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Thank you very much.
it's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Saying something from people
Oh,
from Bosnia.
Hello, everyone in Bosnia. Good to see you, hanging out with Tariq and Ivana, and we're having a great time.
Dođi i ti, Jovana.
Bye guys.
Tararara.
Keep it metal.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See you.